Welcome back to another podcast with Miriam Khan at Raise Your Vibes. Thanks for tuning in. Today's podcast title is all about how not everyone is going to understand your journey and your path in life, and the decisions that you make and the decisions that you have to live with, the decisions that we form as adults or young teens, or decisions that we go on with in our life. So some of us will have lots and lots of very, very difficult decisions that we have to make sometimes in adulthood. Those of you that might be teenagers tuning in, sorry to break it to you, but sometimes we have some very, very tough decisions ahead of us. And sometimes these are decisions that make or break us. They can sometimes end relationships, end friendships. And sometimes, people will be looking at you and judging you and casting doubt, casting their own opinions, which they're more than entitled to do so. Sometimes, we as human beings, we go out and seek those pieces of advice, I guess. We look for our elders, we look for wisdom from the people around us to try and guide us as well in the right type of decisions, just so that we know that we're doing the right thing. And sometimes that's not always easy as well. It's sometimes difficult to actually sit and listen to that advice. I know I'm one of those people that people come to me for that wisdom and that clarity. And don't get me wrong, I've had people during my particular hardships in my life where I've had to go to them. And sometimes as a strong individual, who I definitely am, clearly I am, it's hard for me to ascertain who I can actually go to for advice. That has become, I guess, less compatible with certain individuals over the years, and I'm more selective about who I listen to, who I let into that particular world, because not everybody has that wisdom and that clarity to help me, so I'm selective in that respect. But some of us will be making different types of journeys, different types of paths, and I don't mean physical journey, I don't mean like going from one destination to another. I mean the different journeys within our lives, the different jobs we might have, the different relationships we might have, the different types of finances we spend or don't spend, the people that we spend our time with or we don't spend our time with, the education that we select. This can be such a wide spectrum when we say decisions about journeys, okay? And one of the interesting things about journeys is that it's never something that's got a final destination. That's the beauty of it, Sometimes if we're looking at it from an educational point of view, you might be on one particular course and you might be studying one particular thing, and then later on you decide that actually that's not quite the path I had intended. I want to change it. I want to do something different with my particular path. And there are times when there are people around you that will be casting doubt, that will be casting their own particular point of view, which they're entitled to. Don't get me wrong, they're entitled to tell you their particular opinion, but it's how we react to that, how we respond to that, and what we say in regards to that. Are they going to be someone that's negative towards us? Are they someone who's hypocritical towards us? Are they a naysayer? Maybe you're wanting to go and do something like take a break from your particular studying. Maybe you want to go travel the world. Maybe you want to change careers, maybe you want to go and do charity work, gap year, whatever it is, certain people have expectations and roles and guidance for us, and sometimes we have to break that. You might think it's something that we shouldn't do, but we should be living our lives how we want to, and sometimes that's not always possible because we're living the dreams of others, okay? And this is how our journey becomes unique. In our career field, we're told, stick to this particular career, it's got a particular substantial amount of money, don't go chasing your dreams, don't do this particular job. These are things that people around us pass on. Some of it is out of insecurity, some of it is out of fear, some of it is because they want you to have that stability, especially with the way things are right now with COVID. So many people's businesses have closed, so many businesses have unfortunately lost quite a lot of money, and quite a lot of people have tried to set themselves up, or they haven't done the proper research and so on. So there are other individuals that will put sort of like a down side to it, okay? But if you have hope and you have faith and you have this guidance that your journey for you, for your business, for your aspiration is going to go well, and you've researched it, you've got everything, and you've tried your best, what's stopping you from seeking that particular journey and starting a new, adventure, and starting a journey of, being your own boss and being in control of what you want to do, and being in control of what time you get up in the morning, what income you make, and what outcome you have. That's down to you. That's down to the effort you put in. And only you can make that decision. Only you can make that decision about what's best for you, about your particular journey. Some of us might have physical journeys too. You might have a spiritual journey. Maybe these particular religious places, spiritual places, you want to go traveling and see. You want to be amongst particular individuals in different countries. Again, it's purely this huge path of enlightenment, and this huge path of meeting different spiritual souls and different people from different cultures and traditions, and sort of intermingling and getting to know them. And that's such a beautiful journey too, because you're allowing yourself to see the world. You're allowing yourself to be, awoke and to see different people and learn from them and learn from each other, and see the likenesses and the things you have in common, as well as the disparity. Maybe there are similar traits, the similar cultures, the similar traditions. There might be things that are similar to your particular lifestyle, or there might be a complete contrast. But you'll never know until you make that physical journey yourself, and explore that and see that for yourself. That particular journey is breathtaking. It's something that some people do. I mean, some people, they go off traveling, they don't necessarily go and see that particular place. They stick to their own particular routine, they stick to their own particular traditions. They choose not to integrate, they choose not to look at that particular custom and culture. Unfortunately, they don't really get to see the real place. They don't get to experience that aspect of journey, And then there are some of us that will go to these particular unique places in the world. We'll go meditate, we might go and do yoga, we might go and do a form of education there. And again, we see a whole different aspect of enlightenment, and our physical journey, our spiritual journey, our journey as a human being, because we've gone to a different place, we've experienced that culture, we've allowed ourselves to integrate, allows us to grow, in more ways than one. So that's an interesting aspect to look at too. Different parts of our milestones, in our adulthood years, whether that's if you're in your 20s, you're approaching your 30s, you're in your 40s, 50s and 60s and so on. All of us will have, this sort of like norm within society where you're expected to do particular things. And if you break out of that box, well, someone looks at you as if you're loco, or, if you're crazy. Well, to those people I say, why not? Why not go do something that's totally, different? If you decide you want to go sailing across the world, why not? If you've got the tenacity, you've got the strength, you've got the funds to do that, you've trained yourself, you've got yourself in a position where physically you're able to be fit, mentally, physically, spiritually, all those aspects that you need. Why not? Why not go and chase those dreams? Why not go ahead on that journey? Because if you don't, you're going to be there in your olden age, looking back, reflecting and thinking, oh, I wish I should have done that. I should have done that, and I didn't. All of us will have these different aspects, different sides to our journeys that we need to chase. Sometimes it's tricky to do, I get that. Sometimes when you've got different commitments, you might have children, you might have family ties, you might be in a marriage where one of you is the breadwinner, both of you the breadwinners, and so on. You might have children dependent on you, different stages of their life, obviously, that are reliant upon you, to be able to financially provide for them. I get it. I get that sometimes we have to sort of shelve these journeys, we have to shelve these dreams, but there's nothing stopping you from thinking about it. There's nothing stopping you from still, doing that particular aspect of raising a family and still being able to live the dream. I've met quite a lot of people who have traveled the world on a very, very tight budget, very tight budget. They've got their beautiful children, with them on that journey. You know, some of them are living in camper vans, some of them are building tents, some of them are renting. It depends on their financial budget and what they've saved for, but all of us are in different aspects of that. And it's interesting how each of our journeys will differ from one and the other. So that's something definitely to look at, you know. Then you've got the different aspects of our whole milestones as we get older, depending on the different things that happen to us, you know. We can go through stages of grief, death, divorce, marriage, you know, birth, joys. These are all different milestones. These are all different journeys as well. And these particular aspects too, they can change us. They change us forever. You know, some in a very positive way, some not necessarily in a positive way, unfortunately. Some changes, we don't see coming. You know, sometimes the rug is sort of pulled from under us and we don't see that change approaching. And sometimes we have to change very quickly. That journey of, birth, death, bereavement will change us forever, like I said. And it's up to us as an individual how we deal with that and how we move forward with that, how we decide to transgress and to rebuild and to sort of come back bouncing, with life and joy, Recently, I have been learning how to sail, and prior to that, I was learning how to hold a gun and master a gun and all these different techniques. And I got to the age of 43 when I realized I needed to do that. And I'm laughing because I do think it's quite funny. You are never old enough, there's no age limit to when you can start learning things. And there should be no restrictions. There shouldn't be anything stopping us from going out and seeking our goals and seeking the things that we feel that we should be doing. Of course, there's going to be naysayers. Of course, there's going to be people thinking you're absolutely crazy going out and doing particular things like I've just mentioned. But, it's each one of us. It's up to us what we decide is our journey. And all of us will have different ways of doing that, different paths. And like I said, in life, no journey is always on a straight road. Some journeys we go straight ahead. Some journeys we go to the left, we go to the right, we meander back, we do a U-turn. And sometimes our particular journeys take us into different places and different adventures. And some of them we don't see coming. Some of them are beautiful adventures. But it's all about acknowledging the fact that we're on that journey in the first place, that we're there to learn something. We're there to take something from it. We're there to learn that wisdom. We're learning that joy. We're learning to be within ourselves. We're learning more about us as well, There's parts of our journey that will make us stronger individuals. There's parts of our journey that will weaken us, but also strengthen us at the same time. And it's all about our, respective outlook on life. And it's all about our analysis and how we look at that particular aspect and how we grow and how we see ourselves changing and molding into a better human being and a better person for our community and for our world and for ourselves. So, to summarize and to conclude, wherever you are on your particular journey, wherever you are on your particular path, don't think it's always has to be one particular way. No, your journey is individual, it's unique to yourself. Look around you, look at the role models around you, look at the people that you aspire to be like, the people that, ground you, support you, the people that encourage you. They're the people that are going to help you on your own individual journey. Well, this has been Miriam Khan at Raise Your Vibes. I appreciate you listening in, tuning in. Give me your ideas, give me your thoughts about this particular topic. I'm sure there's going to be some of us with lots and lots of different outlooks as well. Remember, there's not just one particular way of looking at things, there's lots of different aspects of this particular topic, and I look forward to hearing your comments and perhaps discussing it in another podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you listening in, and have a blessed, beautiful day. Bye bye for now.